guys, welcome to the Blockchain Bandits podcast, episode 7. You're here with me, Jeff.
And me, Courtney.
And me, Andy.
And it's been another big week in the cryptoverse or the cryptocurrency universe. So much has happened, and we're going to talk about some of it today. Bitcoin, again, rose to new heights. Again, obviously, it just seems to be just how Bitcoin is nowadays. But it also dropped, and we'll be covering that. Coinbase sent out an email basically begging people to be careful when trading and also to stop using their not stop using their service, but they just don't want as many people signing up because they can't handle it at the moment. Also, NiceHash got hacked, a cloud mining service, and we'll be going into that. And this week as well, the CME are coming with launching their Bitcoin futures and how that is going to affect the market. So yeah, firstly, Bitcoin, it went up and it reached new heights, like we said before, and it dropped again. Yeah, what's you guys' takes on that? Why do you think that happened?
Well, it's interesting. It's the first drop in a while, isn't it? So I think it's quite interesting that it's happened now. My take on it is that it was going to drop at some point in time. The fact that it happened now is obviously quite alarming for those that just joined the wave, I would say.
Yeah.
You know, you just pluck up the courage and think, I'm going in now because I hope it's going over 20k.
Yeah.
And then it just drops on you. So I think that's a bit scary for some people. But yeah, that's my take.
Yeah, I mean, like on Coinbase, it did hit around like 19.5k USD. Like that just goes to show how many people were signing up to Coinbase. And basically on Coinbase, obviously you can't put in like a limit order. It's market.
Yeah.
And so you can see that's literally just new people coming in, buying probably the first Bitcoin, just buying whatever they could get hold of, just going in, probably assuming that it was going to go to 30k, 40k, 50k. This is it. This is going to be everything. Like, but I mean, when prices of anything go up so high, so quickly, so sharply, it's going to go down.
Yeah, it will.
Yeah.
Because of fear and panic, and obviously people want to profit taking. There's going to be some people that see price going up, and they're going to be like, oh, okay, now's the time to jump out because I don't know where this is going to go.
Yeah. Let
me just jump out, and then they jump out, and price drops a bit, and people start panicking because as it was rising, people were buying, so they bought near to the top, and when it dips a little bit, they're out of profit. So then they go, oh crap, I need to get out as well. Look, I'm losing money. I can't afford to lose anymore. Let me just take my losses, and it dropped. And it did that for a second day as well, and today it's bouncing. Today being the 10th of December, 2017. But yeah, it's bouncing a bit. It hit the $14,000 level and bounced off that twice, and it's going right now. It sits around like 15,665, and so it looks like it just made a nice retracement. I mean, if you wanted to get an entry, that this would have been the time to get it slightly cheaper than it was. And really, it's weird because it's Bitcoin actually behaving itself instead of just going up and up and up. It actually fell down and made a decent retracement. So a nice entry level for people who know how to find the entry levels.
Yeah, I agree with that. Like I was telling you guys earlier, like I've been watching the crypto markets for a while, but the moment where I saw the most potential to join the market was when the FUD was happening with China and the Jamie Dimon FUD and Goldman Sachs. So I managed to get Bitcoin at its lowest since, and this is again like a time where there's been a massive drop. I guess we've entered a bearish market, but like there's definitely I wouldn't want to recommend people to buy now. I want them to. I think people should look and see how it goes, and then plan a good time just check how the market goes, especially with the futures coming up and
exactly.
CME.
Yeah, that's something else we want to speak about, the futures, how that's going to affect the market. For people who aren't familiar with futures trading, we kind of can briefly go over it. So futures is where people will, in the most basic form, will place some money into the market, and they basically lock it up, and they say, oh yeah, by this time price is going to be here, and they hope that that's what happens, and basically after a certain time limit that is set or predetermined, they get their money out, and depending on how prices move, they have made a percentage gain or loss on their initial investment. So that's what people are going to be able to do with Bitcoin. Now, how's that going to affect the Bitcoin market? Well, Andy was just showing me something to do with when the futures, it's a bit of FUD, which is basically just fear and
Unease.
Yeah, unease and distrust.
Yeah,
Uncertainty. So basically just things to scare people. But you got to take these things into consideration, but you got to take them with a pinch of salt. When platinum, I think it was available on the futures market, it dropped quite significantly from when the futures option was available. A lot of people speculate that this is what's going to happen to Bitcoin, that price will drop, Bitcoin will get shorted, but we don't really know. It's just one of them ones where you just have to sit back. It's better to sit back, better to be safe than sorry, in my opinion. There might be someone who's more has a bigger risk appetite than me and might be like, yeah, this is an opportunity, because futures could boost the price of Bitcoin. They could because they add to its legitimacy. It's, well, in certain people's eyes, they see people like CME and Nasdaq and other markets speaking about Bitcoin and applying it to their markets, and they think, there's something about this Bitcoin thing, and so they think more people will come into the market because of that and push the price up, and so it could go either way. Obviously, with any asset in any situation, it can only go up or down, but but here, because of the volatility involved in Bitcoin and cryptocurrencies, it's a bit more dangerous. It could go up or down, yes, but it could go up or down by a huge amount, so it's more dangerous in that way.
Exactly. I exactly what you just said there. The difference between the crypto markets is volatility, and like again, it's just always on. It's like it's around the world. Like there's no closing time, there's no opening time. It's non-stop. So I sympathize with people getting into this market, because I hear it a lot from people starting off that it's quite a lot, and it moves so fast, and like again, a week feels like dog days. Just keeping up to date with it, but that's why it is important to like let just see how the market goes, really, and not to stress out about it too much. But again, the volatility doesn't help. So again, I think one of the key things is if you find yourself stressing too much, you probably have too much money invested.
Exactly. Yeah. Don't make sure you invest in an amount you're willing to lose. And I think it's hard as well for the newbies. I can see what you're saying, sympathizing with the newbies, because a lot of people, fueling the FOMO, the fear of missing out, that newbies will have. Like, for example, I'm looking at this thing, CNBC posted something saying, oh, Bitcoin hit a record $19,000, here's how to buy it.
They jinxed it.
They jinxed it, and on top of that, I posted a tweet about this on my Twitter, which I'll probably drop to you guys. We'll probably drop our social media to you guys at the end of this, but I posted a tweet saying, why am I seeing people in the cryptocurrency space, or people that aren't even involved in the space, but people encouraging people to buy Bitcoin when it's at its highest price? I gave the analogy of, you wouldn't go to a shop if you knew the prices were increasing. You go to a shop that was obviously offering you more, and if there was a sale in a shop, and they were giving you like a discount and some huge discounts on great value items, you're not going to just be like, oh no, don't get that, mate, like it's rubbish. You're going to that's when you're going to make an investment. That's the best time to make an investment, when things are cheaper, when something of high value is on offer for a good price. That's the time to buy it, not when something of high value is overpriced or at the peak price, because you're just spending more. And plus, if you're a newbie, in my opinion, obviously it's harder to find the pullbacks because you're a newbie, you don't know how to find them. But buying at the top is the worst thing you can do, because if you buy close to the top or at a high price or in a bull market and price drops, you're gonna panic, you know. Yeah, cool.
You know, again, we're not really financial advisors, so you know, that's one clear thing to actually mention. But you know, I'd suggest, yeah, you know, in terms of that type of advice, it's not really helpful. I like the fact that the Bitcoin market's becoming really saturated. The reason being is that I believe it will fall onto the rest of the cryptocurrency kind of community to kind of pick up, in terms of, you know, you buy Bitcoin, you get involved in Bitcoin, it will lead you on to maybe looking into Ethereum, and you start getting involved in Ethereum, and then you start looking at that, and then you start saying, well, look, IO is quite good, and you get into that, and you get into Litecoin, and before you know it, you're part of the community. I think that's a great thing, builds, and there's a big push towards that right now because Bitcoin's driving it, and I think that's a beautiful thing. I'm totally excited and stoked about that. But then again, you know, I do fear for some people that are getting involved and they are losing a lot of money, because it's a life changer. We see money as just a commodity, something that we might just need because whatever. No, it's a necessity in a sense. We need it to live. We have to use it to live. So the fact that people potentially could be losing money, and you know, they might have bought right at the top when it hit 19,000 because they're saying, you know what, I know it's still gonna go up to 25 or whatever it will be. That's not really fair on them. So you know, if people are getting pushed in that direction, it's a sad thing.
Yeah.
But then again, you know, it's a case of you need to monitor your own risk. I think the idea of futures is actually quite good. Again, it's opening up the market to more people. Some people that wouldn't necessarily trust the exchanges that are currently there because they're not regulated are now getting involved or are planning to get involved because of the future market. So I think that's a great thing. And, you know, again, basic rule of supply and demand, the more saturation, you know, the higher the price. So
just to add on what you just said, like for people coming in, obviously, like I think how it all works out when they first hear of Bitcoin in the cryptocurrency market is, okay, this is Bitcoin is now they're comparing it to gold, and it's a way to it's a good store of value. And so people are like, oh, I can, if I buy in this now, I can make a lot of money. And then what you're finding is people are like, hang on a minute, the cryptocurrency market has incredible tech what could change the world. That's what I hope people realize. First they come in, and I mean, maybe a part of greed comes in and brings them in.
Yeah.
But once they realize that, hang on a minute, this tech is going to change the world in like 5-10 years. Like, again, you read up about ICOs and you read up about altcoins which are just doing amazing. Like, you really you think they're worth value. For example, like again, like we're big fans of IOTA. That's a good example. And like, if you bought in and you're like, you know what, I really believe in the team behind it. I really believe in what they're pushing. I'll buy it. And like, for example, now they're dropping. For someone who believes in what they're pushing, the ICO or altcoin or coin, you would buy it because it's on sale, which is what Jeffrey was saying. So the thing is with the futures, again, like going back to it, is now I think there's gonna be more people joining, and the more people who are joining are seeing Bitcoin as a store of value. And they see it as non-sustainable because it is high fees and the network's clogged, and it's old compared to other coins. Yeah. And a lot of people are like, oh, well, it's not like a lot of the people who are joining in now are older generations and not so tech savvy. They're going through an CME and other future providers, and they're like, now you're going against people who don't want Bitcoin to be another new store of value, and it's against the people who realize that crypto market has a lot of potential. So I think like it's going to be interesting what way it goes. I'm going to make no predictions because I have no idea.
Yeah.
I obviously I know where I stand in all of this. I know that Bitcoin like Bitcoin, I mean it's done amazing feats, but my heart's always been in blockchain technology, which is what I know all three of us like but yeah, it'll be interesting to see, really.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, I think that kind of covers it mostly because it's going to be a key point in the cryptocurrency market. Come to the end of the year as well. It'll be well, we're nearly in 2018, and maybe things that happen now could set the tone for what happens for the rest of the year. We'll see. So yeah, we also wanted to talk about what else did we want to talk? I always forget.
It was the nice hash hack.
Oh yeah, the nice hash hack. Yeah, so NiceHash is a cloud mining company. So they get people to join together, and you invest in a certain amount, and basically they pay you back in cryptocurrencies. So they mine for you, basically. Essentially, that's what it is. Do you guys want to speak on the hack?
Yeah. Apparently, it was a security issue. A lot of these exchanges, which again we're going to talk about later as well.
Yeah.
And mining like sites and services need to understand that the people in the cryptocurrency market and space are very tech savvy. And when you have a community was very tech savvy and they see that there's just an opportunity to make money, and like you're gonna have malicious people who are gonna exploit you.
Yeah.
And again, that's why we always tell people to keep stuff off the exchanges. Put your coins and altcoins in wallets, and just like be safe, because there are people who are out there trying to profit off like what is going on. Like again, we're going to talk about the exchanges later, but they can't keep up with the amount of people who are joining the market every single day.
True, yeah.
And people like there's services getting hacked left and right. If you don't have a wallet, get one.
Yeah, I'd agree with that. Like, yeah, hacking is just going to be a big thing in the cryptocurrency space. Most, not directly towards the coins, even though that kind of has happened. Some chains have been hacked. For example, Electronium.
Yeah.
And I think they're only just getting up and running on Monday or something.
Yeah,
like
they
that.
got added to a new exchange recently.
Yeah, they got added to a new exchange.
Courtney retweeted it.
Oh yeah. So, you know, it's just one of those things. Anyone involved in the cryptoverse, like you said, security needs to be uptight because you have some of the smartest guys in the world trying to hack you.
But that should be like your top of your agenda, isn't it?
Yeah.
Like,
yeah.
It mind boggles me that sometimes it seems like in the cryptocurrency space, we're so focused on money. Can we get that money? That greed. And we totally forget that, you know, maybe we should make it secure first. Totally secure. Keep on working on that security because, you know, I believe in IT. Security is something that's always developing. It's like getting ill and you get antibiotics. You've got to keep on improving them. Otherwise, eventually, you know, you're going to be susceptible to a security breach. And then when that happens, you're screwed. And it's another example of that, you know. It's happened to Bitfinex, I think, as well, at some point. And
Mt. Gox as well.
You know, it happens.
Bro, it always happens. It's been happening, bro.
But you got to stay on top of it. And that's the key thing, isn't it?
Yeah, exactly. And you need to protect yourselves at home, like Andy said. But also, as well, maybe start getting a bit tech savvy yourself. I know it's not easy, but you know, just learn little bits about tech, about hacks, different types of hacks, so you know how to avoid them, and maybe you'll be able to see a dangerous place and avoid going into it. Like, for example, say you were thinking of getting into cloud mining, you were looking at NiceHash, and you looked into it a little bit, and you thought, it could be a bit vulnerable. I'm not saying become a master programmer or hacker or white hat hacker or something like that. But, just get a little bit. There's information is always useful. Just get a little bits of knowledge and get yourself a bit safer and more robust, and you can basically protect yourself from these things. And so moving on to the exchanges. It's the same thing there. Like Coinbase sent out an email saying, they want people to be safe and careful out there. They haven't been able to handle all of the traffic they were getting, like Andy mentioned earlier, because there's so many people joining the cryptocurrency space at the moment. The servers going down, crashing. Even TradingView, which isn't actually a cryptocurrency related thing, it's just for trading in general, all sorts of assets. Because so many people wanted to check the charts to do cryptocurrency, they went down as well. So it goes to show how much growth this is going, because even the systems built around it can't cope with the growth. Even the Bitcoin network and other networks are getting clogged up. We had the whole CryptoKitties thing with with Ethereum.
The network.
The Ethereum network was clogged up by a trading game called CryptoKitties, where people trade cats online, like these little digital cats online,
like Neopets.
Very
if
serious.
People have no idea what we're talking about.
Yeah.
Very serious.
Very serious stuff.
Yeah, very serious.
You just collect these cats. And the way these cats are created is like through smart contracts, and the cats might have different eyes and different nose, and you just collect it and you can trade it and sell it for ether.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, it makes sense.
Yeah, it makes sense.
And when I first read about it, I was like, God, this is so easy. Why did I think of this?
Yeah.
I think you were the same. I think I was talking about it.
Well.
I was like, damn, this is a good idea.
Yeah.
But boy, it's asked a lot of questions about the Ethereum network.
Yeah.
And again, the cryptocurrency market's asking a lot of questions about the exchanges right now.
Yeah, exactly. The exchanges need to step it up another level. They need to do everything they can to not only withstand the amount of traffic they're gonna get, and they're already getting, but it's gonna get more. It's just gonna grow. If the cryptocurrency world is going to grow, they're going to have to grow as well. But also to become secure enough to handle, because the more people learn about it, the more attacks they're gonna get, the more people are the more money they make, the more money people are gonna want to take from them.
Yeah.
So they need to become more secure. They need to find, and that's where like decentralized exchanges become more attractive. The first person to launch a very good user-friendly decentralized exchange which works perfectly well.
They're going to make a killing.
They are going to make that it's going to be perfect, and it's going to be great for us.
Yeah.
Well, what I'd suggest is that something like that does occur. As we're in this climate where Bitcoin is so popular, everybody's trying to jump in and get involved. Like, we need a way of mitigating against that risk. Otherwise, you're going to get somebody going, you know what, I'm sick and tired of this. Instead of you having this decentralized kind of, atmosphere, we need centralization. We need some sort of governing body that just comes over and controls everything. And then it kind of gets rid of the whole point of blockchain technology in the first place. Blockchain technology, the foundation of it is the fact that it's secure and you can rely on it. So we need to keep that going. Otherwise, you're going to lose a community. And that's just point blank simple, in my opinion. So, I think that's really, really key right now.
Like, I think we mentioned this in the last podcast. I think I said about the exchanges being the gatekeepers. For new people. Like, definitely. Yeah, it's just they need to step it up another level. They need to become either that, or we just need a really good decentralized exchange. I think that's all we can hope. That's the best we can hope for. But for now, they need to just either get more servers, better security, more customer service, which is what they said in their letter they were going to do. They said they were hiring a whole bunch of customer service and customer support people, which is good to hear. And you know what? It's a good sign that they're aware of this, and they want to let everyone know that they're doing things towards it, instead of just being silent and just letting it happen. It puts confidence back into people, which Courtney was making a good point, saying that, they need to do that, otherwise they're going to lose the community.
Yeah, exactly.
So, it's good that that the Coinbase are doing that, and every other exchange should be kind of doing the same thing. I think all the ones that went down should be doing the same thing. Yeah, it's exciting though. I like it. It gives us more to talk about, not only for the podcast, but just in general. And also, it's one of those things I think that one day we're gonna look back at it and laugh at. We're gonna be like, oh, look how crappy the exchanges were when this all started. It's like the same way we look at dial-up internet. Oh, look how crappy the computers were back in the day. They were just blocks or bricks, and now we have this, now we have that. And even in 10 years time, when things have improved, there'll still be more room to improve. It will just keep getting better. So I think if you're already in the space, I think that maybe be a bit patient with it, because the demand is growing way quicker than anyone could have anticipated, and it's gonna grow even more. So we're gonna hit road bumps. It's like basically, this is the beta stage. It's like having a beta game. Before games are released, sometimes they release like a beta version, which is basically a test version. So imagine you release a test version and your entire community jumped on it, like your entire customer base jumped on it, but you only wanted a test amount. You only expected a test amount to jump on it. You would be like, what the? This isn't a finished product. Please just give us some time to. And it's kind of similar, even though these are finished products we're dealing with. They're not. They weren't built to deal with this sort of customer demand.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I guess you're playing with people's money. I think if it was definitely a beta, it'd be great. But you get the latest Call of Duty game come out and all the servers crash, mate. You're gonna be.
Yeah, it's true.
A lot of people start playing Halo. And that's the point that I think everybody needs to pay attention to. As Bitcoin's growing, there's always going to be room for opportunists, and not in terms of, oh, I'm going to get some Bitcoin legally. It's going to be, I'm going to steal some Bitcoin. Thieves are opportunists. That's what they do. They go out there and they see who they can pick on, and they pick on the vulnerable. Don't be vulnerable.
Yeah. That's one of the key things I think we want people to take away from this. Just try as much as possible not to be that vulnerable person. That's why we're here, to help you guys. Because it's a dangerous world out there, in the cryptocurrency world. So yeah, hopefully, you guys can take something away from this.
Yeah, I mean, I like to liken it as the Wild West. It's just very unruly. But yeah, like the exchanges aren't the most friendly to newcomers.
Yeah, no.
Especially when they're lagging. Like for example, Kraken is shocking.
Kraken.
Like Coinbase is shocking sometimes. I mean, which is the more easier one to use,
Exactly.
but the fees are shocking. I mean, like the amount of usage Coinbase gets and the amount of fees it charges. Finally, they're doing something
With the money.
with the money. You know what I mean? Like, so like. Yeah, the thing what's holding the crypto space back a lot is definitely the exchanges. Again, what you said earlier about like a good decentralized exchange would be so nice with smart contracts, and just one what was easy for users to use, for new people.
Exactly.
Because the thing what's turning most people away now is the exchanges.
Yeah.
Again, like I think what's holding back a lot of people from investing in their favorite coin is just the fact that like there's so many different exchanges having so many different coins. Like IOTA, for example, there's only 2 places you can get. Well, pretty much you can get IOTA, maybe 3, 4, and it's kind of like you have to sign up to all these different ones. I understand why people get stressed out about it, and when they're not working and they're slow.
There's so many issues, even with. Outside of the exchanges, there's like wallet issues and things like that. The whole space is growing, and it can be frustrating, even though it's young. And I said we have to be patient. I understand why people are frustrated. I've been frustrated with things in this space as well. I really, really, really hope things develop quicker rather than sooner. I mean, sooner rather than later. But we'll just have to see. We need to. Basically just bide our time and just do what we can to keep ourselves safe. I feel comfortable doing this stuff myself because I'm fairly tech savvy, but there'll be others who wouldn't be as tech savvy and have to deal with this stuff. So and like we always say, if it's not simple enough for your grandma to use, but at the same time, if you stick it out, you never know. One day it could pay off in a big way. Just stick it out, try and make an investment here, try and keep yourself safe, secure some coins. You never know. One day it could change your life.
Yeah.
I mentioned him in the last podcast, but Jay from the Making Sense podcast, which is like a economics a financial podcast where they talk about like personal finance. He mentioned that for the younger generation in the UK at least, it's very hard to come by a property, especially in London where we're located. To buy a property is extremely expensive. But back in the day, our parents' generation was a lot easier.
Yeah.
A house you could buy for 60 grand back in the day is probably like £500,000 right now.
Our generation is a dream.
Yeah,
like it's my dream.
Yeah,
I think it's all our dreams. To be fair,
it's crazy. And this could be our generation's version of that.
Yeah.
An investment you can make for fairly cheap in the future that's going to be worth quite a lot because of the technology and applications it will have, and the way it could change the world essentially. And the way we do things. Eventually what we're investing in now could be worth a lot. So I think a lot of people have that in mind and they're willing to put up with all these problems. But I'm one of those people, kind of just get by it. It annoys me a little bit, but I kind of see the payoff in the end because I actually believe in this technology. I believe in this stuff. So like for me it's just one of those things you gotta put up with, and because our generation, we dealt with the beginning of the internet. We're kind of in a lucky, we're in our mid-20s, so we were there kind of in the early stages of the internet.
Yeah.
So we kind of know how it was when you were trying to get on the internet and you couldn't be on it when the screen loading up really slow,
and you had to shout at your mom to get off the phone.
And that that sound that used to make when you used to connect to
modem,
modem sound, whatever, that sort of thing. And the terrible interfaces. It's just, we've seen it grow, so I think
we grew up with it.
Yeah, we grew up with it. So it's kind of easier for us to kind of deal with this stuff because we've seen it before. We push past through that, waiting for ages for a page to load through. I guess we can deal with this.
More tolerance basically.
Yeah, more tolerance. But I think maybe the younger generation, slightly younger than us, who never actually had to deal with that, it must be terrible for them.
That's a good point.
They're used to seeing things kind of really
instant.
quickly.
Yeah. They have no patience nowadays.
Exactly.
Yeah, definitely. I think a lot of people are like younger siblings we might have. You might see that they have less and less patience when it comes to technology. That's a good one because I'm thinking of my brother completely.
Yeah.
He's 10 years younger than me. And he gets very impatient when it comes to things, just generally.
Yeah, taking so long. Literally, I don't mind waiting 5 seconds for a page to load. 5 seconds to someone 10 years younger than us is a long time. Yeah. They want it literally in 1 second.
Instant.
Why is it not working?
Yeah, exactly, yeah. And I'm just wait, 2 seconds and it's there.
Like a YouTube video buffering, if it takes longer than 20 seconds, what is going on? Our internet is so crap.
Yeah, exactly. But then again, the older generation, older than us, might be looking back at us and thinking, you guys are so
true.
impatient.
Yeah, that's true as well, man.
I used to have to write a letter and post it, and it took 3 days to go to whoever I wanted to send it to, and then you guys got into. But then again, we're all used to this world. Yeah. If we're living right now, we've become accustomed to these things happening quickly. So from anyone of any age could be on the spectrum of any of these behaviors that we're discussing. Someone who's 60. If you're listening and you're 60, I'm not saying you're old, sorry, but if you're 60,
you're quite young.
Yeah, you're still young. Yeah.
I'm sure you're wise though.
Yeah, you're wise. With age comes wisdom. But say you're 60, you could still have that level of impatience, And if you're younger than us, say you're 18 or something, and you can still have that level of patience. It's obviously, we're not trying to generalize here, but it's just one of those things in general. this is how you got to kind of take these things into account, especially when you're dealing with technology that people are well, the whole purpose is that everyone is using it, so you got to take into account how everyone is seeing it, you know. But yeah, I think it will come along. I have faith. Obviously, I have faith. I'm financially invested in some of this stuff. So yeah, you know.
Yeah, I think you know, as I say, you know, Bitcoin being a pioneer, as people put money into that, and you know, money goes elsewhere to other ICOs and altcoins, you'll see that the technology, the way to protect it, the kind of core foundation of it all, actually being improved. It's not going to stay stagnant. It's not going to just be this forever. At least I hope not. You know, it would be quite worrying if it never changes. I think it will. I think it's just all of a matter of time. And you know, blockchain technologies, yeah, it's in its infancy in terms of, you know, where it will become or where it will go. You know, it's beggars belief, but that's the exciting part, the fact that it could end up anywhere, and it can, you know, develop itself to be something really great, just as much as the internet. You know, so it's just to jump in, get involved. It's not all about the money necessarily. It's about the tech behind it. It's about all of that. And I think, yeah, it's just so exciting. Yeah, it's just so exciting.
I think key word's investing there, isn't it?
Yeah,
like
exactly.
You're investing in something you believe in.
Mm-hmm.
That's a difference. You're not here trying. I mean, yeah, you're here to make a quick buck, I guess, but it's not necessarily quick. It's over a period of time, a long period of time. You invest it. You're giving a coin or ICO money to invest in their project because you believe it's going to do good things, or you believe there's profit in it. You know.
I personally, I think that if you're here just to make money and you don't actually believe in the technology, you're going to lose money.
Yeah.
You're going to lose money, and this is why. Because if you jump into an investment, for example, let's say you jumped into a coin like Litecoin, and you just thought you jump into it because it made a certain percentage growth, and you didn't believe in the technology, you didn't really know anything about it, and you jumped in and it made a price drop, you'd be thinking, why am I still here? You don't have any reasons to stay because you don't believe in the tech. You take your money out and you lose money, and then price goes up and it goes beyond, and you'll be like, oh my god,
you'll be stressed and
I
sweating.
should have stayed in, blah blah. So yeah, if you don't believe in the technology, stay out of it. That's my advice, but I'm not a financial advisor, so I could be chatting crap. Do what you want, guys.
Well, what we try to do here is we try to like I don't want to say dumb down the tech, but we try to explain it as best as we can, and we try to get people into the discussion in the community, discussing the different tech and comparisons with other altcoins which are similar, because that gives you a good idea of what exactly you're investing in. You're not just chasing numbers, and you're not just having FOMO left and right. So I think key is education, really.
Yeah.
And like once you learn about the tech, I think you're more inclined to just like back certain things, and like with belief and confidence that, say, if it just lost like 5-10% in a week or in a day, you're more like inclined to be like, just hold on, maybe, because you might see yourself saving a bit of money, like you're not too emotionally invested in it, because you know at the end of the day this coin, this altcoin, this token is going to do well, like,
basically. But I think we've come to an end. It's been quite a short one, but I think we got a lot packed in. Sometimes they say the best things come in small packages, so hopefully this is what they...
Short and sweet, they, you know.
Exactly.
short and
that
sweet.
Too. We've got puns for days, but yeah. Anyway,
Add a few more.
no, I think they've had enough. But yeah, thanks for listening, guys. If you want to support the podcast, perhaps you want to secure some cryptocurrencies, click the links below. You can buy yourself a ledger hardware wallet to keep cryptocurrencies safe, and it supports the podcast as well. Sign up to one of the exchanges below. Like, subscribe if that's what you want to do to support us. We really, really appreciate it. Share this if you want to as well. And thanks for listening again, guys. See you next time.
Yeah, make sure you get your Christmas shopping in and take it easy.
See you next time, guys. Thanks for listening.